gosh, thank you again, Tony, for taking time out of your day to jump on a call. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you, man.
Your story is so interesting to me because you're a radio show host for a major station out there in Portland, 98.7 The Bull. You're an insurance agent, a realtor, an ordained minister. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, I've had to narrow that down a little bit in the recent couple of years because it was just getting to be too much. So
yeah.
I focus more on just insurance and radio right now, probably.
Gotcha. And you didn't actually pursue radio as a career, though, at first, right? How did you get into radio?
Well, I actually was a therapist. I was a mental health counselor in West Virginia, and I had always thought radio was interesting, but I had a guy ask me if I would do a call-in show. He was on a top 40 station and asked me to do a call-in show, and we'd have these kids calling in asking for advice. You know, they could get their locker open or their boyfriend broke up with them. You know? And so from that, I ended up just really kind of enjoying it. But I was at the radio station on a Saturday night just hanging out with some guys, and the dude that was supposed to work the midnight shift didn't show up. He wasn't. They realized he was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, so he wasn't going to be able to be there. And so none of them wanted to work. So they said, "Tony, do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll do it." And then I was kind of hooked after that. So that's the way that all went down. So
that's awesome. I mean, being a country radio show host in Portland, and probably,
right.
I mean, just guessing, being more on the conservative side than the majority of that city, it seems like it can be tough at times with Antifa and the left protests happening. You know, what's been your experience with that, and do you ever feel unsafe in the city?
No, I don't. Well, if I know there's going to be something like Antifa's downtown, I just don't go.
Yeah.
But I never feel unsafe in Portland. Unfortunately, it's gotten a really bad rap because of all the Antifa stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think it's as unsafe a city as people think it is. But, you know, if you know that there's going to be a large conservative group that's coming in, or there's going to be a large, extremely liberal group coming in and doing some kind of protest, you just don't go downtown. I mean, you know, if you're smart, or at least in that area.
Gotcha.
It really is an interesting city, though. It's you know, but it's like, I worked in Seattle for almost 10 years, and it reminds me a lot of Seattle in that you go downtown Seattle or downtown Portland, then it's very liberal. But you go to the outskirts, and it's not as liberal as people think it is, especially Portland.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right.
Really. Like, I was born and raised in West Virginia, and there's a lot of places in both those areas where I feel like I'm right at home, except for the accent. So, it sticks out a bit. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, you're an early riser. Obviously, you work from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. is your show. I'm an early riser. I get up at 4 a.m. 6 days a week. But what's your morning routine look like to help, make your day successful?
I get up at 4 o'clock too. Try to be at work a little after 4:30. We go on the air live at 6. Yeah, for me, I've been successful. I feel like because of the people I've surrounded myself with. I work with Jake and Jenn here in Portland, Seattle. I worked with Fitz, and I've just been very blessed to be with really good people. I think that's the key is if you're in a team situation, you got to pick carefully,
Yeah.
You really do. And each one of you have your own strengths and weaknesses, and you just try to play to each one of those.
Totally.
The biggest struggle for me is time management, though, especially with doing the insurance business and the radio, trying to have a social life, all those things. That makes it very tough. But that is the key, having goals, of course, writing them down, that type of stuff.
Yeah. I'd love to go back a little bit. You said you're from West Virginia, and you'd posted this really cool video of the hill that changed your life. I mean, you talked about being 14, 15 years old. You were overweight, and you wanted to make a change, and, you'd run that hill at night. Why did you decide to start running at that time?
That's great. I was raised back when the marathoning was really taking off, I think. And so a lot of my sister's 7 years older than me. So all the guys that would come over and flirt with her or her boyfriends were all into they were into running.
Oh, gotcha.
And I know it's a weird thing, but it intrigued me. And I was very overweight. And I remember when I would try to run laps or whatever, I was always last, and it just makes you feel bad. And then when you're overweight, the other kids make fun of you and stuff,
Sure.
And back then back then it wasn't like, all the routines we have now. It was, you want to lose weight, go run. You just go run laps. And so we had a subdivision that was exactly a half mile around with this huge hill at the beginning. And the first night I couldn't even make it up the hill. And so I remember walking, and then I would walk the rest of the way. And then the next night I went out and I wanted to get a little bit farther until I could run a half mile. I'll never forget the first time I made the first lap. I thought I was the man, and,
sure.
And then before I know, as I started to lose weight, it got easier, of course. And then next thing you know, I'm running 5Ks, 10Ks, and 10 miles. And I fell in love with running, quit soccer, and started running track and cross country in high school, and did okay, and ended up getting a scholarship to run in college.
Wow.
It was pretty great. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Great. I still run. Yeah.
Oh, you do? Oh, nice.
Just not very fast. But
sure.
faster than most old guys my age, though.
Right. Well, for being a quote unquote old guy, you're ripped, dude. Yeah. I mean, you're in some really good shape, man.
Well, you're looking at my Instagram, and that's called great filters and perfect lighting. It's not going to go. Yeah, but
that's awesome.
I mean, I'll tell you what. I went on a diet about 3 years ago. It's called the divorce diet.
Oh, okay.
And, you may have heard of it.
Yeah.
And I just,
not personally, but yes.
Yeah, it's amazing what can happen when you find yourself 50 years old and single again.
Okay. So,
sure. I feel like if I can look down and see my feet, I'm ahead of most of the competition. So
I agree. Yeah. That's it. Totally. I mean, you post a lot of inspirational, motivational stuff on social media, and you have this dream board at your house. I'd love to know, like, who or what motivates you and inspires you.
Wow. I was a kid. I started listening to Zig Ziglar when I was a kid.
Okay.
John Maxwell. Canfield, in the Christian world, Andy Stanley. I mean, there's just so many people out there that have influenced me. But I guess about a month ago or so, to be honest with you, Eric, I looked in the mirror and I get a little emotional about that. But I looked in the mirror and I saw a man I didn't like very much. Not that I'm a bad guy. I'm a good father. Sure. I'm a lucky. But I was in a relationship with absolutely a beautiful, wonderful woman, totally screwed it up, sabotaged it. I looked at the way I was treating my boss and just not with the respect he deserved, and just the people around me. I wasn't the Tony that I remember pre-divorce.
Gotcha.
And so I began to realize I needed to have dreams again. I think I gave up on having dreams, and I had to get back to who I was. Part of that was running, to start running a little bit again, to start maybe, exercising my faith a little bit more, and just to become a more positive person. I realized that I've been blessed. I had a good job. I had a decent car to drive. I had a house to live in. This beautiful woman that I was dating at the time I was not appreciating any of it. In fact, I was an asshole, to be blunt, and
sure.
And I didn't want to be that guy, Okay. And so I started really. For me, it was about meditating a little bit in the morning and doing, and praying and reflecting on my life and beginning to show gratefulness, to get up earlier, to be a better teammate to my people I work with, and that's really changed my life. I wish I had a better way of explaining it, but I don't. I started counseling. I went in and got a counselor. And, just trying to get back to who I was before the divorce, and as a younger man, what were my dreams? The dream board has pictures of me. Well, it's not me, but there's a picture of a couple walking on the beach, and hopefully one day I'll have that special person back in my life. There's a nice car that I'd like to own, and vacations, and I'd love to have a house on the lake. Things like that, and just started making myself dream about those things. I think I gave up on it. Like, I'm 52, so now I can't have dreams. Life's passing me by, just forget it.
Right.
And so that's part of it. Writing down those goals. I have a list I hang up in the house, and to see, so that I have to look at them every day and just begin to live life to the fullest, man. It's when you get to be 50 years old, you realize how fast time's going. And and I don't want another 20 years to go by and here I am in the same place and that same funk and that same bad attitude, and I don't want that anymore. So that's where a lot of the inspirational quotes are just stuff that speak to me. And
I'm turning 40 this year, and so I'm kind of feeling like, man, where the heck am I, man? Like, and I have to look and go, man, I have a beautiful wife. I've got 2 healthy, amazing kids, and I live in a house, and we're out of debt, and it's like, I got to be more grateful about things. Some mornings I'm like, man, I'm not where I want to be with my business, right? I still work full time for somebody else, right? And man, so cool.
For me, I was never content with anything. I was always looking to do the next thing, and that's not a bad. You have to have goals. You want to, you have to want to have aspirations, but I never could just be thankful for anything. It seemed like, and I had to get through that, and realize life's not all about me, and quit being so selfish in relationships and those type of things. It's helping. I got a long way to go. A long way to go.
Sure.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. Good, man. What's your greatest skill or asset that you have?
I love that question, because you can't not answer that question without sounding arrogant.
Yeah, sure. I think it's good to exercise that.
I think the thing that's made me most successful in life is I'm likable.
Yeah.
I'm just likable. And not because I think, one, I really do care about people. I love people. I want what's best for them. I want to be a part of helping people. So that, that's a good trait, I guess. And then I'm pretty normal. I'm like your average guy. I like the things that average people like. So I think people connect with me, and they're like, they want the same things I want. We want the same things in life, And I'm pretty damn persistent when I want something.
Yeah.
Oh man, I am tenacious. When I want something, and if you tell me I can't get it, you look out. I will run through a wall to get it at that point.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, that's definitely it.
Cool. I got some fun questions for you. You've met a lot of musicians being in radio. Is there someone who just stands out as being like the coolest artist that you've met, or someone that just stood out as being like, man, that guy or that girl was awesome?
Okay. One of the greatest opportunities I've had is I got to know the band Mercy Me pretty well.
Yeah.
Bart Millard and the crew, the Christian band. I was really impressed with those guys. It's good to see people that walk the walk, talk the talk. That was cool. I really like Bart's a great man. The whole band are amazing. In the country world, I've got a chance to meet Garth Brooks and his lovely wife Trisha Yearwood, and they're the real deal, man. I don't know. They're about as sweet as you can get. I don't know that I would call Garth cool though. That's what's funny. Okay. You just said somebody cool.
Right.
Garth just seems like he's Garth's just a nice guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
I felt like I could just sit down and have a beer with him. Like, it was like, this guy's on my, he makes you for a second, you think he's on your level. Like you're at the same place because he makes you so comfortable. And but when you step back and go, oh, this is Garth Brooks. He's one of the kings, right? I met George Strait. Could barely talk when I met him. He's bigger than life. Didn't really get to know him very well, but he was a nice man. Florida Georgia Line, great guys. Somebody cool. Well, everybody's cooler than me, so yeah. I don't know. Jason Aldean, he's got a cool vibe. Like, all right, I couldn't hang out with you. You're too cool.
I gotta say, I think Jason Aldean is probably one of my favorite country artists. The very first country concert I ever went to, the Wolf out in Seattle gave me free tickets to go see Kenny Chesney. That was my first country concert ever. And that was awesome. You guys enlightened me to the country world from that concert on.
Oh, Kenny Chesney. You know what? That concert you're talking about, I had a chance to meet Kenny Chesney, and I was so tired because we'd been there all day that I said, I'll pass. I'll meet him again because I just assumed I'd get to meet him, right? Well, it wasn't too long after that it became very difficult for us to meet the artist. I've never met him. Never got a chance. Wow. And he's one of my favorites, too. And Eric Church, I've never met him. Love Eric Church.
Yes. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Eric Church as well. I worked for Universal Records for about a year, and I got to meet bands, and some were really great. And then there was like the diva bands, right? Do you ever run into those guys? Being in the country world?
I haven't met any guys that were like seem diva, but there was a female artist that's really big that was not as friendly as I had hoped. But
okay. We don't have to drop names.
All right, She might have been going through a difficult relationship at the time. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah. Who is
I think she's probably great. She's just a little feisty for me. So there you go.
Oh, gotcha. Makes sense.
All right. Yeah.
Are there any up and coming country artists that I should be listening to or people should be watching out for?
Matt Stell.
Matt Stell.
I think it's Matt Stell or Matt Snell. I just met the guy. It's called I Prayed for You is a song. Absolutely amazing. There's a guy out here in Portland, Oregon I love called Nate Botsford, Botsford. I think he's amazing. Wow. Those are the ones that came to mind first off. There's so many great artists out there. It's a tough business, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tough to break into it. Yeah.
I got 2 more fun questions for you. One, do you have a favorite movie?
Dumb and Dumber.
Okay. Love that movie. Can quote it all day.
That's one of my favorite ones. Good Will Hunting, on a serious note, Good Will Hunting. That's one of my favorites. I thought that was a powerful movie. So, yeah. And then all the comic book movies I see with my son. So.
Oh, nice.
They're all great. Love all those.
So there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there, and they talk about like doing the cold shower thing in the morning. Are you a cold shower guy?
I've tried that, actually. It does help. Okay. I've also found that hot water is really not that great for your skin and for your face, so I don't use hot water in the morning. It's funny you bring that up. Yeah. Okay. I've actually done it. I don't do it very long, though. I lived in a floating house for a while, so the pipes were underneath in the river.
Oh, gotcha.
Holy crud. So you can imagine how cold that water was.
Yeah.
And on the cold. And, I mean, you're talking about waking up. Yeah, I think it does help you now that you brought that up. I haven't done it for a while, but yeah.
I did it for the whole month of May, and it was awesome. And then, of course, I got back into the hot water shower, but I think I need to jump back into the cold water there.
All right.
That is awesome. Well, Tony, man, it's been so awesome to talk with you on the phone today. And wanted to just give you an opportunity, too, if you just wanted to give any shout-outs to anybody or teammates, cast members, whatever like that, and make sure that they just got a shout-out on the call there, too.
Well, I do have to say congratulations to my co-host, Tony, Jake, and Jenn on 98.7. The Bull. We got nominated for a CMA award, so we're real excited about that, and congratulations, because they're amazing. They're the reason that we got that award, and so I'm very blessed. I have an insurance company that I can sell in free plug in Washington and Oregon, TonyRussellInsurance.com, and actually going to start advertising on the Bull in Seattle this Monday. Going to advertise on Fitz's not specifically on Fitz's show, but part of Fitz's show and the rest of the station, and hopefully pick up some clients through that. And nice. I'm glad to still be in the Pacific Northwest. I'll tell you that. I love it here. So
yeah, awesome.
I appreciate you having me on.
Oh yeah, Tony, absolutely, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hey guys, thank you so much for hanging around. Really appreciate it. If you'd like to see more videos from Top Rated MMA and the Bearded Biz Show, please click the playlist and also hit subscribe to our channel. Become part of the Top Rated MMA and Bearded Biz community. We would really appreciate your support. Also, please leave a comment below. I will read and respond to all of them. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day.